Oh my god, look at that gigantic fat fuck. He looks worse than Brendan Fraser's last movie. Jesus. On 300 pounds.
Yep.
In this movie, well, it is a movie, but in this video, 300 pounds. I detailed this in an earlier video that I did today that I don't know if anybody's going to watch, but basically I said that the point of these next couple of weeks of getting back into training is really just to get into a competing condition, which is why the next set you're going to see me do is 3 plates, and I'm doing this for conditioning, not necessarily for maximal strength. You can see I'm moving the bar really well. It's not a particularly heavy weight for me, so we're just going to rep a couple out, just getting the body used to the weight, getting the body used to the positions, and also just taxing our cardiovascular system and trying to stimulate some muscle growth and some fat loss, because that's what we're all trying to be, right?
Oh, man. All right, so the goal of that last exercise was to do 2 sets at 315.
Shut up, everybody's talking.
Then, why I'm going so light is because I'm just getting back into the gym and I'm trying to manage my volume. And I'm going to be training 6 times a week. So you have to think of training volume as something that spans more than just one single training session. If I was only training like twice a week, I would have done 2, maybe even 3 times as many sets as that. Maybe I would have gone a little heavier as well. But the same way that we're trying to manage our fatigue in PE, the management of fatigue in physical training is, I would venture to say, even more complex. So 2 sets of 315 felt good, felt snappy. I could hear the plates ringing at the top, which typically means that you're moving the bar at about at least 0.7 to 1.0 meters per second, which is a really good spot to be in coming back in to training, because that's roughly anywhere between 20 to 30% of your 1 rep max. So another thing you're gonna notice that I do when I'm training is I'll use 100% force on my concentric phases, which means the pushing phase is as fast as possible. And then the lowering phase takes me about 2 to 3 seconds. And I get a real big squeeze at the top.
So like if people got cancer and they got fat as a result of cancer, like this is what it would look like. This is like the Chemo Kid XL edition. That's what I'm thinking. Might title the series that, actually. In all seriousness, these actually do really suck. I fucking hate training quads.
So another thing you'll also notice is that when I'm doing things like machines, I'm not going to do so few of reps, and that's because when you're working with machines, because they don't require your central nervous system to manage things like balance, they primarily fatigue these individual muscles. Like this is obviously a leg extension, so I'm fatiguing my quads. Whereas the squat works 90% of the muscles in your body. And so it's very easy to get yourself to a point of cumulative fatigue with a squat where you're fucking yourself over in other areas of your training. So that's my explanation as to why when you see me work with a barbell, it's typically going to be within the 1 to 5 rep range, whereas machines, dumbbells, things like that, that's going to be a little bit higher rep range and probably more sets. We'll go ahead and bust out another set here.
So while we're talking about the management of fatigue, one of the other reasons that I will only use like fives, 4, 3, 2, 1 on big barbell exercises is really just movement patterning. We want to get our body used to lifting as heavy as possible on those movements. And we're trying to target, if we're going to get any hypertrophy out of those movements, we're trying to get what's called myofibrillar hypertrophy, which means we're actually growing the fibers of the muscle, as opposed to sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, which just means we're increasing the fluid of the muscle. So,
Quads are always one of those muscle groups that I just swear I feel like you can just make them burn so damn bad. I feel like I'm gonna throw up. It's like hamstrings, back. You never feel like that really. Fucking quads, oh my God. It just feels like you can end your life on quads or something.
all right. Before any of you motherfuckers come at me about arching on the bench, firstly, notice that my ass is completely on the bench and that most of that arch is me just being currently fat. Secondly, we're going to talk about something called sport specificity. Okay. Sport specificity basically states that you practice how you play. Okay. So for me, my sport is powerlifting, which means that I am going to use an arch. I'm going to decrease my range of motion. I'm going to try and move as much weight as possible. Now, when I'm trying to tear my triceps and my front delts and my pecs up, when I'm trying to do all of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use dumbbells. I'm going to use pec fly machines. I'm going to, do other movements. But like I said, as a general rule of thumb, if you're a power lifter, you're not going to be doing the meat and potatoes of your work using a barbell. You use accessory movements. So, for all you little fucking arch-hating hobbits out there, you can kiss my left nut if you don't like it. I'm kidding. I'm not that mean.